reinforcing the behaviour by giving her affection while she's in that state of mind. And again, I teach owners how to not give affection when the animal's either in an aggressive or an anxious state of mind, because we're actually, even though it's negative reinforcement, we're reinforcing that behaviour. So the dog has to learn that it gets nothing from us when it's in that state of mind, and it's going to get lots of praise and lots of affection when it's in a calm state of mind.
That's interesting you should say that, because I mean, we're getting towards that time of the year where fireworks, of course, suddenly arrive on the scene, don't they? And I know that a lot of dogs have real problems with fireworks, and I've as you know, I've got a couple of Jack Russells, and one of my Jack Russells, he's 14 now, and for probably the first 10 years of his life he was petrified, got himself in a dreadful state over fireworks, and he couldn't care less now. And I put this down to me and my good lady Pamela. We decided that every time fireworks came on, or every time fireworks started going off, and he was displaying anxiety patterns, we would sing. Yes. And it's a frightening thought, I know. Yes. I think it was he chose the lesser of the two evils, really, and it's funny. We sang the same song every time. I do like to be beside the seaside, and we used to like dance around the house singing this every time fireworks went off. It sounds ludicrous, but we did it for 3 weeks about 4 years ago, and no problems ever since. Absolutely. Because we weren't displaying any problems with the fireworks. Exactly. He no longer does, and it was just fabulous, you know. I thought that's never going to work, but it did. It does. It's if you can actually stay in a happy state of mind when your animal's in an anxious state of mind. You are the pack leaders. You're teaching it. There's nothing to be afraid of, and this is the state of mind that I want you to be in. Right. So singing, humming, doing anything that makes you feel happy while those fireworks are going off. Absolutely. Yeah. It's a lot of human nature to, when we see an animal in distress, to go and comfort the animal. Yes, yeah. But it is quite a natural thing for animals to fear loud noises. In the wild, they would go and hide under a bush somewhere, and maybe perhaps go in that anxious state and come out of it themselves. As long as they've got a nice quiet area, their bed, a safe place where they feel safe, even if they're laying there panting, looking really anxious, or doing the whining or moaning, just let them be. And like you say, you know, put the radio on or go and have a little sing-song. Do anything to keep your energy and your vibe happy. Yes, yeah. And the animal will soon come out of it and learn. That's, exactly. And it's, I would recommend it. It works. Okay, we're going to have a short break. We were talking about, now, squirrels is a subject dear to your heart, is it not? Oh, yes. Now, Dave was in touch with us. He's got a German Shepherd. Didn't say how old. Thor didn't say how old he was, but he said it's a problem for him. He's very good with other dogs, not bothered about humans, doesn't care about cats, but squirrels, that's it. As soon as he sees a squirrel, he disappears over the horizon. And Dave was saying that he's getting more exercise than he needs, having to chase after him to try, and he just won't respond at all. Now, this is, as I say, a subject dear to your heart, isn't it? Absolutely, absolutely. I totally sympathise, totally understand with Dave, because my Annie, who's an ex-racing greyhound, is an avid lover of squirrels. Like, you know, she's good with dogs, other dogs and humans, but, I mean, she was trained to chase little furry things around a track, and that was her life. So her hunting instincts have been trained to chase little furry things. I mean, when I first got her, she would absolutely somersault if she was on the lead. And she'd slip her collar. She was like Houdini. She was that intent on getting the squirrel. She would go. Yeah. I've managed to be able to get her to calm down and stand still. She's still very much in the alert, ready hunt position. Yeah. Very hyper. Just, I want to kill the squirrel, or I want to chase it, or you know, she wants to do that, and it's very difficult to bring her out of that. If she slips the lead, like with Thor, she's off down the horizon. The squirrel will go up the tree, and she's at the bottom of the tree jumping up. And, you know, I say to her, you can't climb trees. Just forget it.
So yeah, no, I totally sympathise with it. I mean, we're working with the dog's natural instincts here, which is to hunt.
Yeah.
If you think about back in the Ice Age, when food was becoming scarce for us, we were the ones who domesticated the dog, or the wolf.
Right.
We started bringing the wolf cubs into our camps, and we gave them 3 jobs really, and that was 1, to help us hunt down food, 2, to protect our camps. You know, there was a lot of theft going on with camps and food being so scarce.
Right.
So we'd get them to protect the territory, and we got them also to keep us comfort, and their fur would keep us warm. So that's really why we domesticated the dog back in the Ice Age.
Yeah.
Now, in today's society, we've obviously taken away that job of hunting, and unless you've got a hunting dog and you're a hunter, but the normal domesticated dog, you know, we go out to Sainsbury's now and get the food, and they've got no job to hunt. So. I think it's a good thing to let them have a little chase now and again, you know, to keep their natural instincts going. I mean, obviously it's a problem when you've got a chase, or if they're near a road, it can become quite scary. So, I mean, what I do is being the pack leader, I have to look out for the squirrels before Annie does. I have to spot them before she does. And I've spotted many before she does, and I just turn her in the other direction before she's seen them. But if she happens to spot one before me and she's on the lead, I can manage to calm her down and again turn her head away from, or turn her body away from the squirrel and walk her away from it. If she manages to slip the lead and she's off, then it's a case of... It's a case of actually sort of waiting until they come down a little bit out of that. They've gone into a scale 10 into hunt mode, and perhaps wait until they've come down into an 8 or 9 before we can get their attention back to calm them.
Okay.
But it is working with their natural instincts. So we've just got to try and spot it a little bit before it happens.
And I think it's important to and maybe sort of alter where you walk. If if you're walking where there's a lot of trees, especially at this time of year, there's going to be a lot of squirrels about.
I went down to Sutton Park a few weeks ago, and Annie managed to escape and chase squirrels 4 times, and I put her back on the lead, and she was in hyper squirrel mode. So perhaps this time of year when they're all on the ground collecting their nuts, try and find a bit more of an open field. And not have those problems. So definitely choose where you walk.
Okay. I hope that helps, Dave. I think that's fair enough. It is a difficult one because you do want to let your dog off and have a run, especially a big dog like a German Shepherd or like a Greyhound. It's nice to see them sort of getting their exercise and having a romp, isn't it? So
absolutely. And like I say, working with their natural hunting instincts. We need to remember they need that to fulfil their part of their daily life. Okay,
we're going to have a short break. We'll be back, and we're going to be talking about Tina and Rob's Labrador, Barney, who has a problem when he meets new people. Gets a little bit overexcited. We'll have a short break, and we'll be back with Nikki in a little while.